This is actually a true story, about something that happened in England quite a few years ago. There was a girl named Lucy, who lived with her grandparents, because her parents were dead. And she lived in the old room of her mother, which was a very small room, with old-fashioned wallpaper with pink flowers. And all that was there, was a bed, a window, a dressing table with a mirror, and a small wardrobe. This was in the old days, where they had no electricity, so on her dressing table there was always a candle, that she blew out before she went to bed. She often found her grandparents down in the living room in the morning, because then she had woken up in the middle of the night, and gone down to sleep. But she could never remember having done it. What she could remember, was that she had dreamed of a young lady, who had spoken to her, but could never remember what she had said. And one night she had blown out the light, and crawled under the duvet, and fell asleep. She woke up in the middle of the night, because she was so thirsty. Then she saw that the room was bright, and that the light on the bedside table was lit. She went and woke her grandparents, and asked if they had been with her, but they had not. They said she had only dreamed everything, so she took them into her room to show them, but then the light was blown out, and you could still see the smoke. One night the grandparents were sitting in the living room, after Lucy had gone to bed. They could suddenly hear the creaking of the stairs. They went to see, but there was no one there. And when they got upstairs, Lucy was lying in her bed sleeping. The grandparents could do nothing more than go back down, wondering what the noise had been. A few minutes later, Lucy came down to them, and said that her mother was upstairs asking for them. How could this be? Her mother had been dead for many years. So they thought that she had dreamed again, but still followed her up to her room. When they came upstairs, there was nobody there, except this time, the light stood and burned. The grandparents told Lucy to go to sleep, and forget about it. But Lucy refused, and started howling and screaming and hitting around. The grandparents was now getting tired of this acting, so they forced her to go to sleep, blew out the light and locked the door. A few hours later, Grandma woke up to someone screaming. She sat up, and spotted her daughter, by the closet. Grandma was utterly shocked, since the daughter, Lucy's mother, was dead and buried years ago. She woke the grandfather, but now, the daughter was gone. Then they heard the scream again, and ran out, and unlocked the door to Lucy's room. But she was gone. And the light on the bedside table was burning. The grandparents would never, ever see Lucy again.